If somebody could maybe just run point for me, Kat, if you wouldn't mind, and mute anybody that you see, that would be helpful. So, okay. So we have a huge, an absolute huge opportunity coming out for you all to learn. And it's in Las Vegas on January 20th and 21st. And it's going to be a live event, and there's only 250 tickets that we're selling live. We also have an opportunity for you to tune in virtually, and we have unlimited seats there. The tickets for the in-person event is $250, and for the virtual ticket, it's $59. But I'm telling you, I have not seen a better lineup than what we have going on in Vegas. We're expecting 10,000 people to tune in from all around the globe. And it's because we're bringing in the best of the best in all of the respective areas. So first of all, you know, our highest position here in the Juice Plus company is PMD Plus, and we're bringing in 6 of the top PMD Plus ladies and gentlemen to speak on a panel, to answer questions that you may have, which I think we all know is incredibly invaluable, because once you start climbing through the ranks, you just want to get there faster. You want to make the mistakes quicker, or step over them as fast as possible. You want to know the value that these people have. So they're going to be there. We're going to have a panel of top physicians that we're still choosing who those speakers are going to be, and they're top in their respective field around the country. We're going to have Jeff Roberti speaking. Of course, Lauren LaHave is going to be speaking. We're going to have Simon Buller, who's a vice president over from Europe. Fraser Brooks is going to be speaking, who is the #1 trainer in all of social media. If you don't understand the value of events, I'm pretty sure everybody on this call has had enough experience to know that this is a vital piece of everything that we do. Virtual is great. If you can do it virtual, it's a very inexpensive way to do it. Awesome. If you can get yourself in person, there in person, you know that it will absolutely change your life. And we would love to have you come out, spend a weekend with us. Tonight's call is what I think is one of the most important categories that we're having out at Bank. And this is personality profiles, and how to quickly determine how to speak to the person in a way that is going to give you the highest probability for them to say yes. And this is the thing that was hardest for me to start to teach my team as I transitioned over here from the medical device industry. So I'll share just a little brief snippet of my story. Again, I think most of you know my story, but I spent 15 years in corporate America, disruptive medical device sales, to be specific. So selling $2 million robots and mammography machines and things that were first of its kind, and would see that through full adoption. And then I would start all over, and I'd go to another company and I would do the same thing. Because what happens is those companies is you build things up, and it gets to a point that the good leadership leaves. All the good money goes away, and you just got to settle into mediocrity, which is totally not me. Or you go somewhere else and you start over. And so I was in this cycle of going somewhere else and starting over, which means that my life would totally shut down. I'd put my head down, and I would run as hard as I can to be in the top 5% to get this thing across adoption. And that was my life for about 10 years. And so I had gotten to a point where I knew that there was more in life, but I had these platinum handcuffs, and I had no idea how to get myself out of that scenario and get myself into a better one where I could start to tap into some of these gifts that I knew were present inside me. But I just I was running off of my intuition. I was running off of, hope and sometimes desperation, and just this feeling that I knew that I needed to do something different. And it was really going to a Tony Robbins event, when you have people around you that are doing the same thing, that are walking on the same path, that have gone before you, where you can now, the path starts to become a little bit clearer. It was it was there that I got the courage to finally leave corporate America and venture into something that would give me an opportunity to step into a little bit more of what I thought my gifts were. And, and there was a critical moment when Tony Robbins said, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And, they say, I don't know who said it, like Jeff Roberti said it to me, but I'm sure it was Jim Rohn or somebody else. But anyway, I'm going to give Jeff Roberti credit in saying that, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And when you come to these calls and you come to these events, sometimes, there's a lot of things that are said over and over again. And when you're a speaker, you know that you're saying this stuff over and over again, but you don't hear it until you're ready to hear it. And Tony I listened to all of his stuff. I've been to multiple events, and he said, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And it was like a bolt of lightning hit me. And, when you finally have all that momentum and you're ready to take the plunge and you get to the edge, and you're ready to jump to the other side, like you either jump because you have all that momentum and all the pain and everything and the excitement and maybe a little courage that you borrow from people around you. You either jump and you start something new, whatever that may be, you leave something behind, or you go home and you revert back, right? And honestly, that had happened to me 2 other times where I had felt the pull to leave corporate America, but I just kept making more and more money. And the people that I talked to thought I was absolutely they thought I was going through a midlife crisis. So at that moment, though, I was like, you know what, if I keep living this life, like it's never going to change, because I'm working crazy hours. I'm stressed, and I didn't have a big vision for myself at this point. Like sometimes you write things down and you create this big vision for what you want in your life. And I couldn't think about speaking on stage. I couldn't think about the lives I was going to impact. The only thing that I could think about was that I wanted to sleep through the night. And I wanted to be able to stop and really smell the roses and really pour into people. And I didn't have the chance to do any of that. I wanted to travel. I wanted to not tell my family. I was the Aunt Christy that was always like, we'll open Christmas presents in just 1 minute. Let me finish this call. Because every company I worked for closed on Christmas at the end of December. So holidays were always, I had one ear in. And I was always that person. And I can't believe people in my life put up with that, but they did. And I love them, and I'm still making up for it. But anyway, I'm telling you this because there's power in events. There's power when you are doing something that's a little scary to you or a lot scary. There's power in being around people that have gone before you. So if you have not gone to Vegas, got your ticket to go to Vegas, we have a code Cortese50. And once I introduce our speaker tonight, I'll put some codes in the chat so you can copy. So don't worry about any of this right now. But we have links. We have a discount, $50 off the Las Vegas event in person, $9 off the virtual ticket. And would love to see you there in some capacity. Plug in, be around people. It's really going to be incredibly beneficial for you. So I said, I told myself, yes, I told the world, I left corporate America, and I decided that I was going to do this network marketing thing. And in professional sales, I had a lot of training. So, I had years and years, and then 20 years of experience. And so when I came over to this world, it was, the first thing that happened was Lauren and I had a difficult time communicating with each other. And so she took me to an event to catch the vision. And I caught the vision because I got to see other people doing and living the life that I wanted. And I realized that I had the wrong MBA. I got a master's in business administration, but everybody at this event had a massive bank account. And so they had a big bank account, but they had the peace and the happiness and the glow that a lot of people say I have now. But Lauren knew that she needed to get me to an event, because if you can see it and hear all the stories, then you'll be sold on it. And you get home and it can be a little difficult, right? So you need to plug into as many events as possible, stay close to the fire, keep your energy really high so that you can climb to the top as well. And so Lauren and I, I respected so many things about her, but I didn't 100% understand her. And I saw this person moving in massive action. There were times where, like Cheryl Cortese said it, she didn't even say goodbye when she got off the phone, and it kind of hurt my feelings. And I was like, she didn't even say goodbye. And I remembered Cheryl saying that. And I just finished a position where I was selling to physicians. So, having more information for me and trust was very important. And so I move into a world where my old world was very professional, and this world is very professional too. But I had experienced somebody that takes massive action like I've never seen in my life. She is freaking out the door. She casts these big visions, and I'm over here going, is this real? Is this a scam? Is this one of those pyramid schemes? So we didn't give each other what we needed. She wasn't able to give me what I needed to have the trust to, and it was nothing in her core, that there was nothing. I mean, I love her. She's a dear friend of mine. It was just that there was a miss in our communication style. And so, fast forward, I've been introduced to all types of personality styles. And it wasn't until I saw Cheri Tree and listened to her presentation that I really, for the first time, realized that there is a way to implement everything that I had been taught in the 20 years experience in the medical device industry. She's got a formula where we can teach people how to do this literally within 90 seconds. Cause I'm like, how do I took this course and that course, and, we want to get people moving into massive action. And once Lauren and I both saw Bank and talked about it, we were able to get on the same page. And then we were able to fly, and hit the ground running the way that we should have from the get-go. So thankfully, I hung in there, she hung in there, we kept trying. We knew that we were both coming from a good place. But if you stop and think about that, and you think about how many times you're trying to earn trust and credibility with somebody that you just met, that you met in a Facebook group, that you met on the street, and that they'd be great, this would solve a lot of issues for them, but you're like, how in the world do we fast forward through this phase? Well, insert this program. I'm telling you, it's incredible. So I am going to stop talking because she is incredible. I'm so grateful that she's taken so much time out of her life, and it's her life's mission to get this out there. Cheri deserves a proper introduction, so I am going to read her bio, and then I'm going to turn it over to her to tell you more about her amazing program. Somebody is
no, he's gonna have
Gabrielle, if you wouldn't mind muting yourself, that would be great. And okay, without further ado, Cheri Tree is a best-selling author. She's a professional keynote speaker. She's a world-renowned entrepreneur. She's the founder and CEO of Codebreaker Technologies, with clients in more than 100 countries worldwide. She's the creator of the revolutionary Bank methodology and Codebreaker's personality coding technology, designed to help business owners close more sales in less time and improve their communication skills and personal relationships. Cheri has spoken to hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs and professionals globally at some of the top business conferences in the world. She has been invited to speak at Harvard University, the University of California, Google, and the United Nations. In addition, Cheri has been featured in numerous international publications, including Forbes.com and Entrepreneur.com, and has been nominated as Innovator of the Year and Entrepreneur of the Year because of the breakthroughs created from her personality coding technology, including Codebreaker AI and the world's first artificial intelligence powered by Bank. So without further ado, I would love to pass the mic over to Cheri Tree and let her take it away and share all of the amazing things about this technology.
Thank you, Christy. I appreciate the introduction. Hello, ladies. I saw a gentleman. I don't know where he went, but glad that you ladies are here. I'm really excited to share some powerful information with you. This training that I'm about to take you into changed my entire life. It took me from someone who was struggling and actually wondering if I could even do network marketing to making millions, and then helping other people make hundreds of thousands and also millions of dollars. And so that's what I've dedicated my life to. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through this. We have about an hour of training content, so I hope that you have the right time budgeted just to make sure that you're here for this segment. And I speak quick, so hopefully you can keep up with me. I'm sure you're all very busy. If the host could enable me to screen share, I will be able to share my screen. And in the meantime, I hope that you're all registered for the Level Up event. It's going to be fantastic in Las Vegas. I told Lauren, like, I'm so excited that she rented out Eric Worre Studios. I mean, that is a massive commitment. And that's a reflection of the vision that she has together with Christy and a lot of you leaders to really put on a spectacular event. And it's events that drive the business, because people catch the vision, just like you heard Christy talk about, and that changes lives. And so I'm gonna give you some skills today to help you be able to do that in your business, and then also how to be able to scale that and duplicate it across your entire organization. So just like Christy said, Cheri is my name. Codebreaker Technologies is our company, and Bank is the methodology that I'm going to introduce you to. Matter of fact, I'm going to share with you why they buy, what makes someone say yes versus no. I'm going to teach you a technique on how to figure that out in less than 90 seconds in this webinar. And I'm going to take you through a sequence of unlocking the secrets, the science, and the system to supercharge your sales and recruiting up to 300%. Now, kind of starting off, I just want to level the playing field here, because you've heard of lots of different personality typing things. Network marketing is filled with what color are you, what animal are you, what astrology sign are you, and all of those. Here's some research that validates the concept. This was done 25 years ago. They said only 18% of buyers, in other words, 2 out of 10, will buy from you if they don't match the buyer's personality type. Okay, so only 2 out of 10 customers will buy Juice Plus from you if you don't match their personality type when you're selling to them, versus 82% success rate when personality types are aligned. So imagine if you could go from closing 18% to 82%, what that would do for you, for your life, for your legacy. That's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. I'm going to reveal the science behind why this works and how to implement this into your business. So Bank is designed to increase your sales, your recruiting, your effectiveness, and your communication up to 300%. I'm going to show you how that works as we get into it here. At first, I'd like to give a little orientation to the acronym of Bank. It is personality based, meaning it's rooted in the principles of the 4 personality types, but with a very powerful twist that when you apply this to your Juice Plus business, you'll see extraordinary results. Bank is people-centered, because that's going to be one of the secrets that we reveal, is the focus on people. Bank is also profit-focused, because we actually want you to be more profitable. Making money is actually a great thing, because good people do good things with money. And Bank is also purpose-driven, because it has the power to impact not only your financial life, but your personal life, your relationships, your marriage, your parenting skills, and so forth. And we'll get into it here. Our mission as a company is to connect and empower humanity. And as much as we have incredible technology out there in the world that connects humans together, I actually believe that we're living in a time where we've never been more disconnected, and probably COVID and lockdowns and all of those things have actually distanced humanity from each other. And we actually want to connect the dots back. And so that's our mission here as a company, is to get humanity connected again through the Bank codes. But what I'm going to focus on for the primary bulk of this training is how to unlock the secret to ultra high performance. How do you actually earn money like a Lauren Lahab? How do you earn money like the NMDs? How do you earn money like a Jeff Roberti? How do you have a shot at 6-figure incomes or even 7-figure incomes, which are like fantasies to most people? I'm going to show you that. Starting with a quote from Robert Kiyosaki. He said, "The ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. Not the number 2, not the number 3, the number 1. If you take that into consideration, what that really means is, we need to get really comfortable with the word sell. And most people joining network marketing can't stand that word. They want nothing to do with that word. And so I want to help you with this. If you have an allergic reaction to the word sales, just replace it with the word influence. Replace it with service. How many of you in your heart of hearts believe that Juice Plus actually has a good product and that your customers deserve to get access to it? How many of you believe that you have an amazing opportunity with the business side of it? And therefore, the only failure is the failure to close the sale, the failure to engage the customer and get them to participate with the products or with the opportunity. So selling is very, very important. And yet, unfortunately, sales has a really bad reputation, and partly because most people have been programmed to fail in sales. Most people have been programmed to believe one of the greatest lies ever told, which is that sales is a numbers game, that you have to burn the candle at both ends and really work your tail off and generate enormous amounts of leads and throw spaghetti noodles against the wall. I want you to ask yourself, have you ever been told that in order to get more yeses, you have to get more no's? And I bet you could each fill in the blank, because every time I've asked the question, the answer is always the same thing. And I used to buy into this too until I realized it was ruining my life. I wanted to do things differently. And I woke up one day and realized that's actually one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Because the truth is, in order to get more yeses, you actually have to get more yeses, not more no's. So ladies and gents, I want you to type the word yes in the chat box if you want to learn how to get more yeses. Put it in all capital letters if you really believe it. Add some exclamation points to make it dramatic. But this webinar is about how to get the yes and not the no. I don't know one person, I don't care who you are. You could literally be Lauren, Jeff, Roberti, Christy, it doesn't matter. I don't know one of them that wakes up every day hungry to go for no. Trust me, your leaders are designed to go for yes. So the question becomes, well, how do we actually get the yes instead of the no? So here's the first part, is the secret. I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. The secret is that sales is not a numbers game. It's a people game. I'm going to say it again. Sales is not a numbers game. It's a people game. If you play the numbers game, you're playing to lose. If you play the people game, you're playing to win. Matter of fact, Brian Tracy said all business is a people business. And you've heard this time and time again about network marketing. Juice Plus is a people business. So the key is, how do we master our understanding of people, how to communicate to people, how to influence people, how to move and lead people in a way that unlocks the yes. So I want to give you a little backstory, a little bit about my background. Why did I even come up with this in the first place? Basically, you look here on the screen, my first 5 years of network marketing sucked really bad. My first year I made $700 as in total. And I was basically the worst person on the team. The only reason they kept me is because I didn't quit. And so I studied for 5 years everything I could get my hands on. I read every personal development book, every book in sales. I attended conferences, seminars, super Saturdays, conventions, the whole 9 yards, racked up enormous amounts of credit card debt trying to crack this code, hired coaches, trainers, all of it. And over a 5-year period, I got my income up to $72,000. I was like a perfect little protege, your golden little downline member who did everything you told him to do. And the funny thing is, I had a nice rank title and I won a few company trips, but I didn't feel anything close to successful, because during this time, I was actually $30,000 in credit card debt, choking to death. I couldn't qualify for my own home. I was trapped living in an apartment, and I'm driving a broken salvage title BMW playing the fake it till you make it game. And I thought, you know, for kicks and giggles, let me go dig up one of these pictures. And I found this one right here. Like, here I am, pimped out on my BMW, living the dream. Well, actually, I felt like I was trapped in a nightmare. And I had a really hard time with the idea of selling the dream of network marketing, feeling like I was trapped in this nightmare financially. I'm supposed to be a role model. Something is broken. And I heard this quote from Robert Kiyosaki. He said, "Stop taking advice from people more messed up than you." And I thought, oh my gosh, like, I can't tell people about network marketing if I'm like totally sucking at it. So it was here at this moment where I had to take a few steps back, and I realized that I had to ask, is it me that's broken? Like, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. I'm never going to make it. Or is it the system that's broken? And the good news is, ladies, I found out it actually wasn't me. It's not you. It's not your team either. It was literally the system. The system was programming people to fail by convincing them that sales was a numbers game, by brainwashing them to go for no instead of teaching them how to go for yes. And once I took a few steps back and figured out how to actually go for yes and get the yes, everything changed. And I want to show you what happened. As a result of using the bank system, which I created to solve the problem of how to go for yes, my income skyrocketed to over $500,000 in 1 year. And the best part is, not only did my income go up 7x, but my time went from working 60 to 80 hours a week doing the hustle and grind and dropping it down to 20 to 30 hours a week. Now I was literally working part-time hours at 7x the income. And I want you to participate with me. Let's have some fun, shall we? I want you to type 7X in the chat box if you would love to see your income go 7X in the next 12 months as a result of these principles. Type 7X in the chat box. And do it especially if you'd love to cut your time in 1/3. 7 times the increase, 1/3 the time. Like that truly was living the dream. And now I finally felt like I was living the dream of network marketing. So what I did was I started to share it with my team. And as I started to share it with my team, I started to teach them the bank system, and I started to institutionalize it. I started to make it part of our ecosystem of becoming a team member. You get trained on the bank system. We use the bank system. We used it in every conversation, on every 3-way call, and every Zoom meeting, and every live meeting. We used the bank system. And as a result, everyone started to make more money, and me included. My income was now over $1 million a year. And of course, by that point, everything changed. By 33 years old, I'm cash flowing millions of dollars. I got published here on the cover of Success from Home magazine. By the way, no, I'm not the lady in the red dress. I always like to say dreams come true. That one never did. But I am the one in the black suit in the middle. I know, Christy, you're like, ah. I'm the one in the black suit in the middle, and it's highlighting my income here at 2.9 million and climbing. And it's like, what did I know? What code did I crack that could literally do this? And ladies, it's the bank code that I cracked. And the more that people heard about it, they started to hear about it in other network marketing teams, in other network marketing companies, in other regular sales companies. And the next thing you know, I started getting asked to come speak and teach on some of the greatest stages and largest events in the world, to share my secret of what I knew about people and how I could help people that were entrepreneurs make a lot more money. You can see here all the people I'm with millionaires and billionaires. This is also where I met Lauren LaHave, because when I went to go speak on these stages, she was oftentimes the MC. An amazing woman. We became very good friends. And she said, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I'm in Juice Plus. And I said, what? And so we started to talk. And then the question became, can I help her entire organization? Matter of fact, can we actually help everyone in the company get access to this incredible system? So that's why I've agreed to come speak in Las Vegas at the Level Up event. I'm so excited to bring to you guys. So today is an orientation on what this big thing is. I'm going to start to scratch the surface of it. I'm going to get you pretty excited. It's hard not to be when you see how awesome this is, how easy it is to use, how simple it is to implement and duplicate in your organization. And then let's just go get results, right? So, and the story just continued. You know, Harvard brought me in, a lot of major universities brought me in. They said, hey, we want to crack the code on what you've cracked the code on, you know, come teach us. And, you know, I've been very blessed. And a lot of people came up to me and said, hey, I want to buy your book. And I said, I don't have a book. And they're like, well, you don't have a book? Like everyone famous has a book. And so you're right. I hunkered down and I thought, you know, I'm the student of a lot of people's books, Think and Grow Rich, you know, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, the greatest writers out there, I've read their books just like you. And so I thought that one of my legacies needs to be, I need to write a book. And so for those of you that say, hey, I want to read your book, this is going to be one of the things I'm going to highly recommend that you do between now and January is get a copy of this book. You can grab it on whytheybuy.com and go read this, okay? But scientific studies have been done on bank. They wanted to see if it was even legit. Like, is what I'm out there saying actually working? Is there any credibility to it? They came back and said, this is the only methodology in the world that's been scientifically validated to predict buying behavior in less than 90 seconds. What this means, ladies, is we know exactly what makes someone say yes or no in less than 90 seconds based on their bank code. Okay, so if you're following me here, Einstein says, look, any fool can complicate things. Well, I'm not here to complicate anything. I'm here to simplify it. And that's what a genius does. So it's not rocket science. This is nothing to get yourself overwhelmed about, but it is personality science. And I'm actually going to show you how to make things so easy you can actually like practically do it blindfolded. So the way that this works, and the reason it works, and it works every single time, just like Juice Plus products, is because it's based in science. The type of science we use is called personality science, which means that people are different from each other. This science dates back thousands of years to the Greek physician Hippocrates, who basically figured out that he could take the entire human race, divide them into 4 different groups, and each group was so different one from another, he could treat them with medicine differently just based on their personality type, or what he called the 4 temperaments. So what does that mean? Well, when you fast forward to today's modern world, there's been dozens and dozens of personality typing assessments that have been created. And some of the more popular ones you can see here might be the DISC, or the MBTI, or the color code, or True Colors, or Berkman method. I mean, literally, there's so many of them out there. And probably you're like the millions of people who took one of these assessments or more. And you got to learn about yourself. Well, I did too. And in the beginning, I was fascinated with what I learned about myself. Like, honestly, it's pretty cool when you do it for the first time. But my fascination turned into frustration when I realized not one single one of these assessments ever made me more money. Not one of them ever helped me close more sales, recruit more people, or get another rank. None. And I remember thinking, what's the point of taking all of these if it doesn't impact the bottom line? And then I had a thought, and I said, well, wait a minute. If it's been proven for thousands of years that there's 4 different types of people, I wonder if they make buying decisions differently. And I wonder if what makes one person say yes makes another person say no. And all of a sudden I was down the rabbit hole, and I was looking for an assessment that could tell me not who I am, because no one's ever asked or cared, but who my customer is, who my prospect is, who my lead is that I'm trying to sell my products and recruit into my business. And it didn't exist. So I decided I'm going to make one on my own. I'm going to create an experiment. I'm going to call it Bank, and I'm going to see if it actually works. And when people say, hey, Cheri, is this exactly like DISC? Is this exactly like the others out there? I say, yeah, it's exactly the same, only completely different. And the reason it's the same is it's based in personality science. What makes it different is every other system out there in the market was based in psychology. I didn't want one based in psychology. I wanted one based in what I call biology, spelled B-U-Y-ology, the science of buying behavior. It didn't exist, so I decided I was going to create it. And I gave it the acronym of BANK, which stands for Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, and Knowledge. And it was this categorization of people that all of a sudden changed everything. I could determine exactly what makes someone say yes versus no based on using this new assessment model. And I could do it in less than 90 seconds. So I want you to type BANK in the chat box if you're excited and you want to learn more. If you're like, heck yeah, like teach me the BANK system, teach me how to predict and get a yes in less than 90 seconds. I want to see that chat box blow up. I know you guys are multitasking. Hardly any of you are on video. You're busy. I'm busy. By the way, I have a brand new 1-year-old baby. If you hear him screaming in the background. Right now, he's actually having fun playing. So I can relate for those of you that are moms and juggling a lot of things. So this BANK system was the game changer for me. And ultimately, what we're going to teach you how to do today and in Vegas on a deeper dive is how to crack the personality code and take it to the bank. Now, this is a fun little analogy. You see this device right here on your screen. It's called a cryptex. Cryptex is a combination of 2 words, cryptology, which is the science of locking up secret information, and codex, which is the written script or scroll that's locked inside the device with the secret message. It was made famous in the movie The Da Vinci Code because this little device held a secret. And the secret that it held was the secret to the Holy Grail. The whole plot of the movie was to get this device to open up so that you could access what that secret was. There's only one way to access it. You had to crack the code. If you could successfully crack the code, the device would open up. And what you'd find inside was that tiny little piece of paper. And what was written on that piece of paper was the secret to the Holy Grail. The challenge is this little device was booby-trapped. Think of it like a ticking time bomb. And if you're on Not on mute. If you could please mute. Just makes the recording background better. Thank you. So this little device was booby trapped. If you think of it like a ticking time bomb, what you'd find is that if you failed to crack the code correctly, you'd crack a vial of vinegar that the scroll was wrapped around, booby trapping it. The vinegar would shatter open, dissolve the writing on the scroll, leaving you with nothing. So the analogy that I like to use with people in network marketing is I want you to imagine every single time you go to talk to someone about Juice Plus, I want you to imagine that they're holding an invisible cryptex. And I want you to imagine if what was locked inside that device was a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, I want you to imagine it's exactly what to say to them to get a yes, to have them buy all your products and to have them join your company and be the next NMD on your team. How badly would you want to crack that code? If you want to crack it really bad, I want you to type into the chat box, crack the code, crack the code. Okay. So if you want to learn how to crack the code, the holy grail is what's locked inside, exactly how to get a yes instead of a no. And yet, how many of you have attempted to crack the code and all you've cracked is that vial of vinegar? And unfortunately, you end up getting a no instead of a yes, right? How often is that happening to you and to the people on your team? And what is it costing you? It's likely costing you a fortune. So as I dug a little bit deeper, I got a clue. Tony Robbins said, let your prospect determine your presentation. And I said, well, wait a minute. If there's 4 different types of people, shouldn't I have 4 different ways to approach them? But yet traditional sales training says, hey, just go out there and deliver the same presentation over and over and over, which is pretty much the definition of insanity. And so what I found was that the greatest mistake people are making is based on this personality science, is that whatever personality type you are in your dominant position, when you go talk to your matching personality type, boom, it's like your new best friends. And suddenly you get a yes to one of those 4 types. But then it occurred to me, wait a minute, when I go talk to the other 3 personality types who are not like me, chances are I'm going to get a no 3 out of 4 times. And all of a sudden it made sense. I was leaving 75% of the opportunities on the table, not closing those sales because I was simply delivering the wrong message or the wrong communication style. So this is reinforced by what I started off with at the beginning, which is that only 2 out of 10 people are going to buy from you if your personality types don't match. Versus 80% or 8 out of 10 are going to buy from you if you can simply match the personality style. So bank doesn't change who you are. Bank simply changes your communication style and empowers you to speak to all 4 personality styles in a way that unlocks the yes for each of them individually, regardless of your own bank code. So to use an example, let's look at this analogy here. You see the 4 blocks going up the screen. Let's say that each of those 4 blocks represent the 4 personality types. And let's say that they speak different languages, okay? Because they're so different from each other, they don't even speak the same language. So let's say that the blue block speaks English. You go out and you speak English to someone who speaks English, you're gonna get a yes, easy peasy, you close the sale, you just sold Juice Plus, you just got a new person on your team. But what about when you go to the red block and they don't speak English? Let's say they speak French. And you deliver your Juice Plus presentation in English, and they only speak French. The question is, are they going to buy from you? And the answer is probably very obviously no, because they don't understand you. They don't relate to you. They don't want to do business with you. So what if you had the ability to speak French? What if you could say, bonjour, je m'appelle Cheri, j'ai habité en France pour 3 ans quand j'étais petite, enchanté. Now, if you speak French, you're like, what? Like earlier, I did the European webinar and they all spoke French and they were like, what? Because they understand you. I'm now 100% more influential than by not speaking that person's language. So if you're speaking the wrong language to someone, they don't understand you, they can't buy from you, you're automatically going to get a no matter how good you are, no matter how great the product is. What about when you go meet the yellow block? They don't speak English, they don't speak French. How about they speak Romanian? You're like, what? What if you could simply speak Romanian and get that person to say yes to you, right? Might sound like this. Bună ziua, mă numesc Cheri, am fost misionară pentru biserica mea. Am locuit acolo pentru un an jumate. Îmi pare bine. If you speak Romanian, you know exactly what I said. And all of a sudden we have an amazing connection. The next thing you know, you're signing up and you're on my team. I'm now
Cheri, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Cheri.
Yes, yeah.
I'm trying to get this background noise, and can you find me and make me co-host so that I can
Actually, I think let me just see if I can.
You can zap everybody. You're the full host now, so I'm so sorry. I've been trying to do it, but I don't have. Oh, I think I can now. Yeah, I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Okay.
We're missing this is the best part.
Yes.
Okay, back to you.
Awesome. Okay, so let me go back here. Oh, you gotta enable my screen sharing again. Sorry. Are you ladies digging this? Like, is this cool stuff? Do you love it? All right, we're getting thumbs up. Okay, you guys are still with me. All right, so let me go back to sharing my screen here. And let's use the last example. Let's say that K personality type is so different from you. They don't speak English, they don't speak French, they don't speak Romanian. Let's say they speak Romanian or Korean. And let's pretend that recruiting this person is like your next NMD. Let's say it's Christy. Let's say it's Lauren LaHav. Let's say it's maybe even Jeff or Birdie, okay? Could you imagine if you were the person overriding that book of business? And all you had to do is identify that they speak Korean and deliver your message in Korean, and it might sound like this. 안녕하세요. 나는 한국말 조금 바뀌었대요. There's an example of Korean. And in this moment, all I've done by speaking foreign languages was demonstrate how the human race is wired to speak or understand in 4 communication styles. Based on their personality type, or what I call their bank code, you can learn which one they are, and you can learn how to effectively communicate in a way that allows you to unlock that yes and throw the dart straight into the bullseye every single time. So rather than playing the numbers game and Russian roulette, why don't instead you slow down just a moment in order to actually nail the bullseye every single time? So that's the science of bank. I've taught the secret of bank. Now let me show you the system of bank. Can you actually leave that open, please? Thank you. The system of bank is where I explain the acronym. What is a B? What is an A? What is an N? What is a K? And so again, this is an orientation, and let me show you how this works. So the B in bank, I use the color blue with this personality type, and a word of caution, don't try to use the colors of other personality types to mean the same thing as the colors over here. And that's why I always refer to it as the code blueprint, not the color blue, okay? Blue is just simply the reinforcement. Why I chose blue is 1, it's in the name, blueprint, and 2, these people are colder to approach. They're not going to be super warm and friendly. Matter of fact, you're almost going to feel like you're bothering them. A blueprint is very conservative, what I would call inside the box. And you can see that little box there on the left. Well, the blueprint personality type, they have a completely different set of values. And their values, drive their buying behavior. So let me show you what those values are. They value things like stability, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability, responsibility, duty, rules, credentials, titles, tradition. So what does this mean? Well, I don't know. I was getting ready to meet with a guy who was blueprint, but I didn't know he was blueprint. I showed up to the appointment 10 minutes late. I apologized. And we were supposed to sign the contract that day. And as soon as I went to hand him the contract, he said, Cheri, wait, I no longer want to do business with you. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you were late. You've disrespected my time. If this is the way you treat me before you have my money, imagine how I think you'll treat me once you have it. And I had no idea, like there's a no, perfect example of getting a no. And I couldn't believe, like it cost me thousands of dollars in lost commissions on that one deal alone. And what I realized later is I was meeting with a blueprint, and punctuality is a deal breaker. These values drive those things. So when you're meeting blueprints, you're going to start to notice they have a formality about them, and they have a whole list of expectations on the way they expect you to engage them. And you can't come across as this like bubbly person or super hyper network marketing person. Like, it doesn't work for them. And so they have their own specific code that you need to speak if you want to get the yes. Well, on the other side of blueprint is action. And here's the color red. These are the movers and shakers and millionaire makers, right? They act like they just drank Red Bull for breakfast. They want VIP red carpet treatment. They're nothing like the blueprints. They're not inside the box. They're totally outside the box. Well, that's because they have a totally different set of values. They value things like freedom, flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity, excitement, attention, stimulation, competition, winning, having fun. They care all about their image from head to toe. It's all for show. So the action personality type, I've literally heard action people say the reason they didn't want to join you in your network marketing business, they might like the company, they might like the product, but they might not want to work with you based on the shoes you wore to the appointment, based on the car you drove to the appointment. And you're like, what? Are they potentially that shallow? Well, they have a definite, very specific code that they live by. And if you don't meet their needs, they're not going to say yes to you. Okay, when you're out there meeting them, these are going to be the little bit more wild crowd of high five type people. But what if you could recruit them? What if they're your next NMD? You got to learn how to catch all the fish, not just some of the fish. So there's the action personality types. Well, then let's look at the nurturing. The nurturing's like, well, the blueprints are too cold for me and the actions are too crazy and maybe, materialistic for me. That's not why I'm here. So the nurturing people, I use the color yellow. These people are like warm like sunshine, sweet like honey, and they've got a heart of gold. They're the ones that are neither inside or outside the box. They're the ones that recycle the box. Well, that's because they have, again, a totally different set of values. The nurturing person values things like relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance, teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. This person doesn't care about making a dollar. What they care about is making a difference. Matter of fact, they're often willing to work for free. Typically, the type of business they're running is the one that starts with the word non before the word profit. And that's a challenge in network marketing because you got a whole bunch of loving, amazing people who are broke in the compensation plan. Well, I wanted to find a way that I could help good people like this make money too, and that money was okay. Money was not bad. Money was good because good people do good things with money. So what this training will reveal is how to help your nurturing people actually be very profitable in their business. And of course, you know, the nurturing type, you're going to greet them with a good old fashioned hug. Even if you're doing it virtually through Zoom, you can make someone feel hugged in the way that you communicate with them. Well, that leads us to, last but not least, the knowledge personality type. The K in bank stands for knowledge. I use the color green because these people love information, data, facts, science, numbers so much. I think about Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. Their little logo is green. Or in the movie The Matrix, the computer code that falls across the screen is green, right? Well, they're the ones that engineer the box. Well, when we look at the types of values that are driving their buying behavior, they value things like learning, intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology, research and development, science, universal truths, expertise, competence, accuracy, and the big picture. Ks can be some of the most difficult people to convince. And part of that is because they have a defense mechanism that protects them from making a mistake. Matter of fact, you can't close a K. The only person who can close a K is they must close themselves. And there's a key to doing that. And if you don't know that key, you're going to get them stuck in analysis paralysis, and they are going to take forever and never make a buying decision. And they can be extremely frustrating. So when it comes to greeting them, I've showed you the blueprint handshake, the action high five, the nurturing hug. And I thought, well, how do you greet a knowledge personality type? Matter of fact, do you even touch them at all? And the answer is no, you don't. Here's what I came up with: the Vulcan salute. Now, truth is, you know, knowledge people prefer not to be touched, but they definitely want to be educated. So when you look at all of these bank codes, blueprint, action, nurturing, knowledge, the first question you want to start asking yourself, well, which one am I? And which one is my customer? And oh, there's a catch. And the catch is that you're not just one of the four. You're actually a combination or a hybrid of all four. So every human in the world is part blueprint, part action, part nurturing, and part knowledge. And so when I realized that, I said, well, wow, that means every person has a bank code. And if you think of a bank code like a PIN code, if you were to take out your debit card and go put it into the ATM machine, it would ask you for a 4-digit PIN code if you want money to come out. Your customer with Juice Plus is the exact same way, except they have a 4-digit bank code, and you must communicate to them in their 4-digit bank code sequence if you want the yes to come out. So the question became, well, how many bank codes are there? And that's when I ran all the possible combination scenarios, and I realized there are actually 24 different bank codes. Well, here's what that means to you and me. It means that you have on average a 1 in 24 chance of saying the right thing to your prospect about Juice Plus. That's roughly a 4% odd, 4.16 if you're a K. Those are not good odds. That's why they say sales is a numbers game. That's why they try to mentally toughen you up by telling you to go for no every single day instead of go for yes, because they know the odds are so heavily stacked against you, you don't know how to get a yes except by accident. What if we could change the game right now? What if you could actually use the bank system? And what if you could actually know someone's bank code? What if you could get that right in less than 90 seconds and have it be the right bank code 100% of the time? I want you to type the word yes in the chat box if you would love to learn how to crack someone's code and get it right 100% of the time in less than 90 seconds. Type the word yes in the chat box. And if you're typing nothing, I don't think you understood me. Right? So blow that chat box up. Yes, 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 yes. So this is what I was trying to solve, right? This was, again, I didn't build this for you. I built it for me. I was trying to solve my own riddle. And I thought, all right, I want to crack someone's code. I want to get it right in less than 90 seconds. And after racking my brain and going through every sales training like you, Christy, they teach you how to listen really good and how to ask questions and how to mirror and match. And they tell you that people will only buy from you when they know you, like you, and trust you. Have you ever stopped to think about what makes someone know you, like you, and trust you? It's the match of the code that does it. So I came up with a way that I thought was pretty genius to crack someone's code in less than 90 seconds. And it was simply a set of 4 cards. Again, not rocket science. So I built a set of 4 cards, and I literally had these cards and I would hand them to my client. So if this was you, Christy, I'd hand you the bank cards and I'd say, hey, Christy, do me a favor. Like before we talk about Juice Plus, remember Tony Robbins said, let your prospect determine your presentation. I need to know your code first. So do me a favor, before we get started, take a look at these 4 cards, and I just want you to sort them in order. I just want you to put the one that's most important to you, most like you on top, down to least important to you, least like you on the bottom. This is going to help me serve you better, save us both some time. Then I would shut up and actually watch what would happen. And do you know that every single time I did it, as in 100% of the time, the client would do the actual exercise. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to know, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute so I can actually see you guys on camera. And thank you for those of you that are actually on camera. The first thing was, will they even do the exercise? And I found out that they do it every single time. Reason number 1 is curiosity gets the best of them. I hand you a set of cards, you're going to grab them. Reason number 2 was the topic on the cards. Was it about me or them? It was about them, right? Their favorite subject. It's not about me. They don't care about me. They care about themselves. And the third reason that they did it, and this is the cool, like special magic trick of the show here is that when I asked them to do this exercise, I actually spoke all 4 codes to Christy. I spoke blueprint, I spoke action, I spoke nurturing, and I spoke knowledge. And I'm actually going to deconstruct this like the Wizard of Oz so that you guys can see how powerful this communication strategy is. So when I hand Christy the cards and I say, I want you to take a look at these 4 cards, I'm talking to her knowledge personality code that wants the information. I then said, I want you to sort these cards in order, top to bottom, most like you, least like you. I'm talking to the blueprint who wants the rules and instructions. I then said, this is going to help me serve you better. Now talking to the part of her heart that wants a relationship and a connection with me. And I ended it with, and save us both some time, because I'm now talking to her inner action who says, hurry up, chop, chop, time is money. Okay. So that's a powerful communication strategy. I'm going to go more in detail in Las Vegas at the level up event. But how many of you, thumbs up on your screen if you would love to learn how to communicate in a way that literally speaks someone's code on demand? Okay, that's like being able to speak 4 languages, like boom. Okay, that is the power of the bank system. And I made it so that it was so easy that literally once you know someone's code, bada bing, bada boom, you know what to say to that code. In Las Vegas, we're going to be teaching what to say to those codes through the lens of Juice Plus so that you actually get the yes and avoid the no. Okay, and that's how no-brainer this stuff is. So I'm almost done. Let me just share a few more slides, and then we'll take some questions and we'll talk about what's next. Okay, so 1 second here. All right. So the cards was a total no-brainer. And by the way, our research teams went out, partnered with San Francisco State University, and said, we want to see if bank actually works in network marketing. Does it work? If you're in network marketing, can bank actually help you? And after doing their series of studies, they came back and published a white paper that says, if you use bank to sell your product, like Juice Plus products, you're 86% more likely to get a yes if you use bank versus not using bank. And you're 192% more likely to have that person join your team and go in business with you than if you don't use bank. So this is like an absolute no-brainer for every person on this call. And for those of you that are leaders that represent significant sales organizations in your downline, can you imagine what could become possible if you simply implemented bank across your entire downline organization? I'll tell you what it did for me. When I realized the power of bank and what it did for me after I went to 500,000, I gathered all my team together and I conducted a 2-day bank training. Had 200 people show up and go through the bank training. January that month, my income was at $8,000. The end of January, I hosted that 2-day training, taught them the bank system. By the end of February, my income was $261,000. In 28 days, my income jumped over $250,000 in commissions, no bonus, no new product launches, just literally an increase in volume and recruiting in my organization. It went nuts. They couldn't even believe it. The company flew out and said, what the heck's going on? And what they discovered was that we were using bank, okay? And so everything changed. And that's why Lauren, who has seen me speak on some of the biggest stages in the world, said, we've got to bring this to Juice Plus. And that's why, again, we're speaking at Level Up. Okay. This is a woman. I want you to see this right before I wrap. This is a woman. And what I love about this story is Julie is an ordinary woman. She's a grandmother. She has a few grandchildren. Like, she's had a little bit of a tough life, and she joined network marketing to try to help solve her financial issues. In her first 12 months, she recruited 0 people, no one, nada. And then she came and saw me speak on bank and bought our bank system. And 30 days later, everything changed. And I want you to hear it right from her. So I'm going to play this quick little video here.
Hi, my name's Julie Ela. When I first started in network marketing, I thought I was gonna do great, and I was really struggling Within the first year, I did not get one recruit, and I was really frustrated, and I was about to give up. And a good friend of mine, Rick Goltz, he's an ex-NFL football player, he introduced me to Cheri, and he invited me to come to her live 2-day training. I did that. I listened to her the first time. I went back, I listened again, and then I learned about bank. I went home, I learned all I could. In the next 30 days, I signed up over 30 people on my team. Since then, everything has changed, and I'm so grateful to Cheri. Thank you so much.
So 30 people in 30 days. I want you to put 30 in the chat box if you would love for yourself and your downline to each go sponsor 30 people in 30 days. Could you imagine? You guys would be on a rocket ship. So bank, you know, as we kind of draw this to a close here, Les Brown says, listen, bank is a game changer for every entrepreneur and sales professional. That's you and Juice Plus. This system will do 3 things. Number 1, strengthen your confidence. Imagine having the confidence of knowing exactly what to say to every single person so that you avoid the rejection, you avoid the no, and you actually get the yes. Number 2 is expand your selling skills. Whether you can sell like Christy with a 20-year background in sales, or you're like 85% of people joining network marketing with no business or sales background whatsoever, we're going to expand your selling skills so that you actually know what to do and what to say to get that yes. And number 3, dramatically increase your income. That's kind of why I called it bank, because when you learn how to crack this personality code, you will take it to your bank. And that's the fun part of it. So this last thing that I want to share with you is that bank does a lot more than just sales and making you money. Bank actually transforms the very root of every relationship. It develops something called emotional intelligence, and it can actually transform your private life, not just your professional life. I've had people come to learn bank so they could learn how to make more money, and they walk out of it saying, this just saved my marriage. This just made me a better parent. Some cases I've been told that bank has prevented suicide. And the stories kept unraveling because the more you learn bank, the more you understand people. The more you understand people and communicate effectively, the more you unlock true happiness in life, which is this incredible superpower of how to communicate with human beings. So if we go back to why I'm really here, it's because when I was broke, I begged God, can you please help me make over $1 million a year? I know that's what I'm going to need for my family and for my future and for my legacy. And if you'll show me how to get there, I will dedicate the rest of my life to teaching it to other people too. And why my heart is so involved is because bank will make you not only a lot more money, bank will make you a lot more happy with your personal relationships by learning how to communicate with other human beings. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And I know a few people had to drop off already. We're a little bit past the top of the hour, but Christy, let me just kind of throw it back to you and just say, thanks for bringing me out here. And thank you for inviting me to speak at Level Up with you and Lauren and all of the amazing people, because we're going to be doing a much deeper dive on this. We're going to be doing a breakout session. You guys are going to get access to a whole lot more when you register for the Level Up conference. So very, very excited to work with you.
Yeah, well, gosh, Cheri, you know, I'm a huge fan and so honored to have you. You've given us like 3 hours. We had a European call today, introducing this to them. There was 100 people on that call. Love that we had some people show up tonight. A lot of these people are on my team. I know them intimately, so I know that they're all looking to level up, and they're looking to serve their people. And the whole point of this is to prevent burnout and to give people a system that they can trust and hit the ground running right away. So really appreciate that. Don't go anywhere, Cheri. I'm going to just make a couple announcements, and then I have one more thing that I do want to mention to the team. So if you look in the chat, so we had a call today with the European team. There's about 100 people on the team, and they went nuts. They had not, some of you have experienced this before. They were cracking their codes. If you have not cracked your code, look in the chat. I posted a link for you to go in and crack your code. So if you wonder, the letters behind my name. And now Kat, I see you did it. Awesome. And Cheri's, you'll know your code. So now you can quickly, once you understand this, when you get on a Zoom call with your team or with, you know exactly how to speak to them. The Level Up Challenge, the discount today is $50 off. So if you're on the fence on coming to Vegas, I would highly encourage you to be there in person. Live events are just different. If you can get there, the team, the fellowship, the fun that we have, the sideline friends that you meet, the relationships, it's just a totally different experience if you're live. So get the $50 off. It's going to be $9 off the virtual tonight. Ticket prices are going to go up. So we're going to raise the ticket prices. The day before, it's going to be like $129. So I know a lot of people like to wait till last minute and get the tickets for virtual. It's going to be more than double the price if you do that. And the live, no question, is going to sell out. We're in a $30 million studio. Cheri knows how awesome this is to be part of Eric Worre's studio. And, I cannot emphasize enough, you want to get there. Now, for the rest of you who are going, okay, I'm ready to go. I love the idea. Christy's been talking about it. I've had an introduction to it. Yes, I'm coming to Vegas. I want all the Juice Plus scripts that you're going to go over and all the very specific advanced training. But what in the heck do I do in the meantime? Or my good friend Tatiana, who's on here, who works for New York, who's with New York Live. Cheri, is there like a bridge product? And if nobody wants to hear about this, you're welcome to jump off. But I'm getting some text messages. I know that Cheri's recommended a book and some cards, but if anybody does want to do any more of the online training like I have done, is there anything, Cheri, that you can direct them to that would be a good jumpstart, Kickstarter, or a basic place for them to start?
Yeah, sure. So first thing is, for those of you that want the book and cards, like I said, I highly recommend you read it prior to coming to Vegas, or even if you're doing the virtual version of Level Up. It's just going to give you a really great, powerful baseline. I wrote the book myself. You can see it back here. Go to whytheybuy.com, and that's going to forward you to the site that just gives you access to the book and cards. And then, and you got some people coming in here saying, where do we get the flyer for the Vegas event? You guys might want to post the link for people to register for the Level Up event here.
Thank you. I thought I put it in there, and I'll post it again. Maybe I think it got buried. So I'll do it again. Cheri, you had all these people that were like giving thumbs up and 30s and bank and all this stuff in here. That's great. Our link got buried.
I like to interact in the chat, because otherwise it's just sort of like a one-dimensional thing. But I would love I call you guys ladies, if you ladies will vote on a scale of 1 to 10, like how many of you want to know more, put a 10 in the chat box. I might stay on a few extra minutes if some of you want kind of a jump start prior to Vegas. Some of you are sending me private versions of the 10. Okay. So for those of you that want to stay on, I need to wrap soon. And here's why. Look at this little guy right here. This is my little guy. This is baby Kai. He's like the cutest little dude you've ever met. He's upstairs waiting for his mama. But let me share with you, Christy is a client of Bank. And if you want to stay on, you can jump off if this isn't for you. But if you want kind of a head start prior to Vegas beyond the book, and you actually want to use some of our super tools and things like that, I will spend 5 minutes and kind of tell you how we help groups get jump started into using Bank. We created a program called Codebreaker Kickstarter. And our Kickstarter program gives you access to a couple of master classes on Bank. One master class is 20 video modules on how to sell to the 4 personality types differently. And that's going to give you a huge advantage than waiting until January to find out. The other masterclass is the masterclass for Bank and relationships. How does Bank impact dating, marriage, parenting, and so forth? And what I found is for every professional, they have their personal private life. And if one is in shambles, the other one doesn't work either very well. And so that masterclass is going to be more for your heart-based relationships, and maybe even some some healing and some ahas that happen in your personal private life. Or if you're single and ready to mingle, it's going to help you know what code you're looking for. Okay. The other thing that's included in Codebreaker Kickstarter is you're going to get access to our advanced bank code assessment. Beyond just cracking your code, you're going to take a 20-question assessment, which is going to give you a score value of your bank code, like just how action, how nurturing, etc. are you. And that's a really cool assessment. You're also going to get a digital copy of my book, Why They Buy. So not the physical book, but the digital book you're going to get access to, so you can read it online. A lot of people like both though. So a lot of people will add the book and cards to their order, and I'll share with you, if you ladies want to get access to this cool special that we built, I'm going to give you my super duper friends and family insider special as a favor to Christy and Lauren today. So that whole package is like a $450 package, and we have it bundled together for $49.95. Okay, so $49.95. The other thing that we're doing as a bonus is we developed these really cool tools, training, and technology. So what we offer traditionally on, like what our customers buy from us beyond the Kickstarter, is a subscription. And a subscription, our subscription does some pretty powerful things. Number one, you're going to get access to Bank Pass. Just like you went and cracked your code with the Level Up link, you're actually going to get your own personal code that you can start using with all of your team and all of your customers and your own prospects and leads, and cracking their code. Every single time you crack someone's code with your own link, not the Level Up link, you're going to get, that person's going to get a personality report from Bank, but you're going to get the corresponding matching sales report on exactly how to engage them, how to close the sale with them based on their bank code. So it's basically like hiring me to tell you exactly how to interact with that person to get a yes instead of a no. That playbook is part of what you get with Bank Pass. You're also going to get access to Codebreaker AI. It's the first artificial intelligence ever in the world, powered by Bank. And the AI interface allows you to put anything you want into the AI, and it'll spit out the bank code and how to engage that person, including a Chrome extension that you can install. When you go to LinkedIn, you can pull up someone's profile, click our AI button, and the AI will read their entire profile and spit out the bank code and how to engage that person. It also includes access to unlocking the Bank Vault. Bank Vault has all of our courses in there. So everything that you would come to live, if I was putting on an event like Codebreaker Summit or something like that, these multi-day events, those courses all professionally filmed and put inside of our Bank Vault with workbooks and everything. And it's kind of like a do-it-your-own-self version of our curriculum. So that subscription is $99 a month. With the special that we're doing, our friends and family version, is we're going to give you access to 30 days of all of that included with the Kickstarter product at $49.95. So we're going to waive. Lauren, do you have the ability to? Yep, I just muted her. It's Lauren Lahab. I love you, Lauren. We're going to waive that $99 first month billing, and that way you get access to our tools. Our company does a weekly welcome orientation tech demo that you can actually go and see all of this working. But that's our special. It's $49.95. It's ridiculously freaking awesome, and that will give you a leg up on Level Up, where you can actually add the book and cards to the order, and you can, so let me pull up there's a little QR code I'll show you, and a website, 1 second. Here we go. Oh, wait. Stop sharing my screen. Let me put the link. There we go. That link, or I'll give you this QR code. You can just scan it with your phones. It'll pull up a special private link that we built just for some of our insider friends and family here in Juice Plus to go to. So levelup.codebreakertech.com. If you take out your phone, you can literally scan the QR code, and it'll take you here. It'll give you all of this awesome stuff. I didn't show you all the slides of all the cool stuff you can get just for the sake of time here. But this whole package is a $500 plus package. You get it for $49.95. At the end of 30 days, you're going to be automatically billed $99 a month for our technologies and stuff. So one, you can cancel it and you won't be billed anything, or two, you can keep using it. And the idea is this should be making you a lot more money by using our technology, but definitely join one of our demos so that we can show you how it works. And that way it doesn't just sit there unused, because it's really powerful. It saves you a lot of time. Okay, so Christy, that's just a quick little, quick insider for some of the ones that are here and want to get a quick little advantage head start on before we get to Vegas.
Thank you, Cheri. That saved me some time. I know that there's already people in my inbox, so I appreciate you doing that. I know you got to get up to that little handsome devil. I saw your post on Facebook with he found the toilet paper.
Yeah,
that was so cute.
I think everyone has kids that do that, right?
Yeah, or cats. Yeah, well, Cheri, can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. We look forward. We're going to be doing calls like this. So anybody who has new team, we're going to be doing an introduction to bank once a month leading up to Level Up. If you haven't gotten your Level Up tickets, really consider doing that and take advantage of the Cortese discount, and appreciate you all being on. Thanks again, Cheri. Tell Esther we said hello.
I will. Thank you, everyone. Okay, looking forward to seeing you in Vegas. Bye.
Bye.